Kashi, Koto Leao Dewage, Ho Dylan Soloman Leshina, Ho Toa Quetean, Ho Takagua Wanchale. Good morning. My name is Dylan Soloman. I am part of the Corn Clan, born for the Frog Clan. I know it's quite strange, but and don't you just always hate it to be the first one to go, because you quite don't know where you may end up. Yeah, so forgive me, but yeah, I will go ahead and continue. And also, again, forgive me that I will I will read from my personal statement, and I will hopefully enlighten all on what me, along with my colleagues and peers, have endured. Growing up in Gallup to me was the big city. My second community, where I recall my family shopping at TGNY, eating at restaurants like La Baraka, watching homecoming parades and games. Gallup is unique because it harbors many ethnicities where cultures come together and are intertwined. In 2009, my family and I made the move from Zuni to Gallup. However, I served Gallup and the surrounding areas, communities as an EMT since the early 2000s. I joined RMCHCS in 2017 to further serve as a registered nurse in the emergency department. I knew I wanted to work at RMCHCS during my clinical rotations because of the people and the work environment. As a new nurse, I was immersed in the culture, and the standard expectations were high. Yet I felt supported by my peers and providers. In 2020, 2 items altered my career. First, I was promoted to House Supervisor, and we saw the onset of a global pandemic. I had the honor and privilege to serve alongside some of the most selfless and dedicated staff and providers like Dr. Wengler and Dr. Caleb Lauber. I recall Dr. Wengler's composure during the initial planning stages in preparation for this novel virus deemed COVID-19. Cool, calm, collected. She took it upon herself to basically guide our institution during the critical planning stages and beyond, as she was the chief medical officer at the time. Both providers were instrumental in many aspects of our COVID response. So when I learned of their dismissal from RMCHCS, it was a no surprise, and it deeply saddens me. And I am here to tell you my story. And let's jump to October 2020. I became the director, head full of ideas, very inspiring. And we were experiencing the second or third COVID infection wave. The patient care techs, EMTs, nurses, and providers in that department worked tirelessly with dedication, resiliency, and with bravery as the ED became the front line. Just like many EDs across the country, each echelon of care, each department mobilized to support one another with swift fluidity to make a field general get goosebumps. Early on, my directorial challenges were retention of staff and equipment upgrades, such as acquiring new ER beds and defibrillator machines, which is so vital, especially if your department is the front line and directly centers on patient safety. 4 preceding ER directors before me, spanning 5 years, and only 2 situational reports from me directly related to this equipment never materialized. I miss working with I miss working with everyone from the dedicated housekeeping staff, dietary staff, to the compassionate techs, nurses, and providers. You see, that is the core of RMCHCS. It's people. I was her servant up until my unexpected termination in early January of this year. Personally, I incurred forms of retaliation and harassment from this management team, unlike any other leadership I have experienced. I brought urgent patient safety issues to light, as it was my duty, but found my concerns were dismissed. I was given directives that I viewed as supporting the chain of command, but these grew increasingly and obviously onerous. The onset was insidious until I saw the writings on the wall. Supported by hollow corporate speak, I would say, I made a timely and appropriate request for job protected leave through FMLA for health-related issues, but my direct supervisor did not respect that protected time and instead forced me to work several 12-hour shifts within that same period in mid-2021. Finally, after my departure from RMCHCS, the current administration made active efforts to prevent my hiring at another nursing job. The alarming manner and efficiency in which staff and providers are terminated or forced into resignation is akin to killing of sacred deer. My hope was to have my situational reports handled in the same proactive swiftness as I saw in termination of employees. The staff still present there need our support and the real support of a caring administration, and that is long overdue. One aspect of a supportive administration is working in partnership with department directors to nurture morale, provide retention incentives, and holding dialogue to address concerns. There should be no fear of reprisal, but collaboration to take precedence. The ED had drastically improved in patient satisfaction by way and known of as Hospital Consumer Assessment of Healthcare Providers and Systems, commonly known as HCAPS, and is initiated by the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. And it is a first national standardized reported survey that basically captures patients' perspectives of the care and of the care provided. In this 29-item survey, patients receive in the mail that measures patients' perceptions of their experiences. The scores for the ED for the third quarter of 2021 were the highest ever seen since the implementation of this reporting standard was introduced in 2006. It clearly displays the care, empathy, and focus on patient-centered care the ED staff and providers provide daily. It prompts me to step forward and inform you, the community, what is happening to our hospital at this current trajectory. I am deeply and unequivocally concerned about the future of RMCHCS with the current leadership. I also believe our community is deserving of stable, high-quality healthcare. To affect change is to step out and be the voice for change. Any practical person of sound mind and judgment will not support an entity like the Community Health Action Group just to oppose one's politics or petty differences, but to confront a clear, neglectful administration that is content on showing the door to talented, skilled, knowledgeable, highly experienced caregivers like Dr. Wengler, like Dr. Lauber, and many others. RMCHCS is a place I grew to love and support. I was RMCHCS. To our elected officials, city, county representatives, your time is now as public servants to have the unequivocal intention to root out answers and ensure transparency, accountability, integrity, and advocate for your community. We only tolerate what we allow. I highly encourage community members to be advocates for change and to join CHAG, and to be the embodiment of our late President John F. Kennedy's words, if not us, who? If not now, when? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me up here. Certainly appreciate it. I'd like to thank the Easons personally, Dr. Wangler, Dr. Lauber, and Dr. Liu for helping me and guiding me on speaking up and speaking out. Thank you.